Here's one piece of good news at a time when government is relentlessly abusing its powers. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. A political miracle happened the other day in Washington. The House Judiciary Committee unanimously passed a bill that would put an end on the federal level to one of the most abusive actions in law enforcement today. It's called civil asset forfeiture. Both the House and Senate should promptly pass this legislation, entitled the Fifth Amendment Integrity Restoration Act, FAIR, and the President should quickly sign it. The bill, sponsored by Republican Tim Walberg and Democrat Jamie Rankin, firmly deals with a pervasive practice that makes a mockery of the Bill of Rights. Incredibly, it is legal for federal, state, and local governments to seize your property, cash, car, jewelry, and real estate, even if you haven't been found guilty of a crime or even charged with a crime. Law enforcement officials can simply declare that they suspect the asset might have been used in the commission of wrongdoing or was obtained illegally. No proof required, no charges need to be filed. Trying to get the seized property back is an administrative nightmare. On the federal level, innocent owners who want to reclaim their property must prove they weren't involved in any wrongdoing. That's right, even though the bedrock of American law is that you're innocent until proven guilty, under federal civil forfeiture asset law, the opposite is the case, flipping the presumption of innocence on its head. The particular agencies involved in the seizure are usually judge and jury. Say the Drug Enforcement Agency took an asset, it decides whether the owner gets it back. Talk about a conflict of interest. What government bureaucracy willingly gives up money? Since the value of the seized property is usually small, owners often give up in frustration because of legal fees. A number of states have reformed their own civil forfeiture procedures. However, there is a horrible provision on the federal level called equitable sharing that lets state and municipal law enforcement entities evade local restrictions. Local law enforcement can simply claim that they're suspicious a federal law might have been violated. This way, a federal agency can seize the money and kick back 80% of it to that local department. The feds have grabbed over $50 billion worth of property since the early 2000s. So-called equitable sharing has kicked back almost $10 billion to states and municipalities. The FAIR Act would immediately stop this unbelievable assault on our basic freedoms. It requires actual judges to hear cases. There would be judicial due process. The burden of proof would be on the government, not the aggrieved citizen. Real proof would have to be provided that the property was linked to criminal activity. Proceeds would go to the Treasury Department's general fund, not to a specific agency. A huge incentive for agencies to engage in this legalized thievery would go bye-bye. Legal assistance would be provided for those who couldn't afford it. The FAIR Act must be promptly passed. The sooner, the better. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.